All right, so welcome to the deep dive. We are going to jump right in, and today we're bringing you all the essential tech news you need to know. We've been combing through a ton of different sources to bring you all the highlights, and well, you'll hear more about that in a second.
Yeah. Today we're looking at a wide range of topics, everything from those last-minute deals you might want to snag to the latest in AI gaming,
Hmm?
and even how technology is changing our homes, like the actual physical spaces where we live.
Yep, absolutely. Think of it as a shortcut to understanding what's happening right now in the tech world without having to, spend hours reading articles and watching videos.
Precisely. We do the heavy lifting for you so you can stay informed and ahead of the curve.
Okay, so let's get started with some sale news you might want to know about, especially if you've had your eye on a few things. Today is March 31st, and that means it's the last day of Amazon's big spring sale.
Oh, that's right. Now, this sale, it didn't have quite the same focus on gadgets and gizmos as something like, Black Friday or Prime Day. But there were still some good deals to be had on a variety of tech.
Yeah, definitely. We're talking Apple stuff like iPads, AirPods,
Beats headphones,
and, a bunch of kitchen tech. I saw deals from Ninja, Breville, KitchenAid.
even Instant Pots, sous vide machines,
Eh.
air fryers.
I mean, if you've been thinking about upgrading your kitchen game, today might be your last chance to grab some of those items at a discount.
Right. And it's worth noting that Amazon has been running these spring sales for a few years now, usually around the same time.
Yeah.
And something you'll appreciate is that you don't actually need a Prime membership to take advantage of these discounts.
That's a good point. Makes it a little more accessible. And hey, for any gamers out there, keep in mind there was a pretty nice discount, something like 30% off on a 1 TB storage card for
Oh
Xbox.
yeah, the WD-C50.
That's a really practical way to boost your game storage without breaking the bank, especially if you're like me and download, way too many games.
Guilty as charged.
Now, speaking of things for the home, and this is kind of an ironic twist, while all these vacuum deals are wrapping up, iRobot, the company behind those super popular Roomba robot vacuums, well, they've announced some news that's got people talking.
Yeah, they basically said they're not so sure about their ability to, well, continue operating.
Yeah.
Which is, a little bit surprising given how dominant Roomba has been in the robot vacuum market.
Right. It definitely makes you wonder about the state of the smart home market. I mean, if even a big player like iRobot is feeling the pressure, that says something.
Absolutely. It highlights how quickly things can change.
Mm-hmm.
It also shows the intense competition that exists in the tech world.
Mm-hmm.
It's a reminder that, no company, no matter how successful, is ever truly immune to market forces. But hey, the good news is that there are other great robot vacuum brands out there.
Yeah, lots of options. And you can still get Roombas, for now at least.
Absolutely.
All right, let's switch gears to the world of gaming. So Riot Games has finally spilled the beans on what they're calling their upcoming tabletop game based on their mega popular League of Legends. Wait for it, Riftbound, the League of Legends trading card game.
Yeah. That's right. You might remember it was previously known as Project K, but they finally gave it an official name and a lot more details.
Right. And they dropped a new trailer that gives us a pretty good look at the game. And one thing that really stood out to me was the updated artwork on the cards. It looks really cool.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely brings those familiar LOL champions to life in a whole new way, which is what you want.
Totally. And it sounds like they've really been listening to feedback from, early playtests and stuff
Yeah.
because the card interface has been polished up quite a bit.
Yeah. Looks a lot more intuitive now, which is great.
Definitely. And they're also making sure this game is accessible for players who might be brand new to the trading card game scene. I mean, they even have a special box called Proving Grounds with champions like Lux, Annie, Garen, and Master Yi specifically designed to teach the basics.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
You want to make sure you're not alienating people who aren't familiar with this kind of game.
exactly. The first set is going to be called Origins, and it's going to have over 300 cards, including those pre-built decks. So you can just pick up a deck featuring, like, Jinx or Victor and jump right in.
Or Lee Sin.
Yeah, or Lee Sin. And of course, for the collectors out there, there are going to be secret rare versions of those champion cards with some super unique artwork. It wouldn't be a trading card game without those chase
Of
cards.
course. Got to have those chase cards.
Now, the game's launch is going to be a little bit staggered, so it's starting in China in summer 2025, but some English-speaking countries will be getting it this year, and then the rest of us will have to wait until 2026.
Yeah. A bit of a way for some folks. But hey, that's
Bro-
how it goes sometimes.
All right, let's shift gears again. Now, to AI, which has been all over the news lately.
Seems like every day there's something new.
Yeah. So ChatGPT, you've probably heard of it. It just keeps on breaking records. I mean, it just hit a crazy milestone.
Sam Altman, the CEO, he said they just added 1 million new users in just 1 hour.
1 hour. It's insane.
He even called the demand for their new image generation feature biblical.
Biblical. That's a pretty strong word, but I guess it kind of fits, right? I mean, people are going crazy for these AI tools.
Yeah, it's a complete contrast to when they launched like a little over 2 years ago. It took them 5 days to get to that first 1 million users. So to see this kind of explosion in growth, it really shows you just how much interest there is.
And all that interest, well, it hasn't been without its hiccups. Initially, they were planning to roll out image generation to everyone, all user tiers.
Free and paid?
Yeah, exactly. But the demand was so high that they had to temporarily pull back access for free users.
It just overwhelmed their systems.
Yeah. And they've been having some issues with new signups too, right? For over a day now. So it's clear they're still working out the kinks.
Absolutely. This whole thing, it really highlights the challenges these platforms face. Trying to scale up to meet this huge demand while still delivering a good experience is a tough balancing act.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so speaking of platforms that are, kind of going through some changes, Substack, it's a popular platform for newsletters.
Right. A lot of writers use it.
Yeah, and they just redesigned their app. And there's one big change that's really going to stand out if you're a social media user. Their media tab, it's now a vertical video feed. It's basically like TikTok.
Yeah, totally. You can scroll through videos from creators you subscribe to.
Yeah.
But they're also using algorithms to suggest stuff you might like. So short-form videos from Substack Notes, clips from longer video posts. Eventually, they're going to have podcast previews in there, too.
Wow. Sounds like they're really trying to, expand their reach beyond just text-based content.
Yeah, it's smart. I mean, video is huge right now. And they're trying to tap into that audience, especially that short-form video audience that's, super engaged on platforms like TikTok and Instagram.
Right. And it seems like this move to multimedia is already working for them. I mean, they reported that a really large percentage of their top earning writers, like the ones making the most money, are using video and podcasts now. And that's way up from last year.
It shows you how important these formats are becoming, especially for creators who are trying to build an audience and connect with people.
Absolutely. And it's interesting timing too, right? Because the whole situation with TikTok, the breathing room that President Trump gave them, that's coming to an end. So this could be a way for Substack to attract creators who might be looking for alternative platforms.
Yeah, it could be a strategic move for sure.
All right. Let's circle back to Amazon for a second. They officially launched Alexa plus AML, which is their, souped-up AI-powered version of their Alexa virtual assistant.
Right. A lot of hype around this.
Yeah, there was. But there's a catch. It turns out a lot of the features they showed off last month, they're not actually available yet.
Yeah. Some pretty big features, too, like, ordering takeout through Grubhub, identifying family members via the camera so you can set chore reminders, auto-generating children's stories, brainstorming gift ideas, ordering groceries, even a browser-based version.
So what can you actually do with it right now?
Well, as of right now, it seems like you can order an Uber, identify objects, and draft emails. That's about it.
So not quite as exciting as they made it sound initially.
Not yet, anyway.
Amazon saying that the missing features just didn't meet their standards for a public release, so they're dilling them to work out the kinks.
Which makes sense, I guess. You don't want to launch something that's half-baked. But still, a bit of a letdown for anyone who is really looking forward to those features.
Yeah, for sure. And keep in mind, Alexa Plus is part of your Amazon Prime subscription.
But if you're not a Prime member, it's going to cost you extra, $20 a month.
Yeah, that's not cheap. And another thing to note is it only works on those Echo devices that have screens, like the Echo Show.
Yeah.
And they're still rolling it out, so it's not available to everyone just yet.
Right. So just something to keep in mind if you're thinking about getting it.
All right. So if you're an Apple user, listen up because there are some fresh software updates waiting for you.
Yeah. Apple just dropped iOS 18.4, iPadOS 18.4, macOS 15.4, and visionOS 2.4. It's a whole bunch of updates across their devices.
New features galore.
And one of the big things you're going to notice is AI. Like, they've really leaned into AI with these updates.
Like how so?
Well, for example, your notification center now uses AI to sort out your priority notifications. So it'll try to figure out which ones are the most important and show you those first. And the Photos app, it has new AI-powered filters.
Cool.
Oh, and the App Store reviews. They now have AI-generated summaries. So if you don't want to wade through a bunch of individual reviews, you can just get the AI to give you the gist.
Oh, that's really handy.
Yeah, I thought so too.
And if you're a foodie, there's a whole new Apple News Plus food section packed with recipes and articles, though that's just for Apple News Plus subscribers. But for everyone, you get new emoji. Always a plus.
Can't forget the emoji.
And AirPods Max users will be happy to know that lossless audio is now supported.
Big improvement there.
And remember those Matter-compatible robot vacuums we were talking about earlier? Well, you can now add and control them in the Home app.
Seamless integration.
Exactly. Oh, and if you splurged on the Vision Pro, visionOS 2.4 brings all those Apple Intelligence features to the headset, so things like writing tools and image playground. Plus, they made it easier to share the headset and added a new iPhone app for remote app downloads.
Really streamlining the experience.
Yeah, and a big one is that Apple Intelligence is now available in the European Union and in a bunch of new languages.
Yeah. Big expansion there.
Okay. Now, for a little bit of movie news, remember that Looney Tunes movie Coyote vs. Acme, the one that was going to have Will Forte and John Cena? Well, Warner Bros. Discovery, they had decided to shelve it for a tax write-off. But guess what?
What?
They just sold it to Ketchup Entertainment.
No way. Really?
Yeah.
So does that mean it's going to get released now?
Yep. It's actually slated for a theatrical release in 2026.
Wow. I mean, that's great news. For fans of the Looney Tunes, for the people who worked on the film, it's just good to see a project like that, get a second chance.
I know, right? Especially after we saw what happened with Batgirl and Scoob.
Yeah.
Holiday Haunt, those just got completely scrapped.
Yeah. So this is a nice change in pace.
It is a little weird though, right? I mean, they just pulled all the original Looney Tunes shorts from Max, their streaming service, and now they're selling off this movie. It's like, what's their plan with this franchise?
Yeah, it's hard to say.
All right. Now let's talk about a bit of a controversial topic. Those AI-generated movie trailers you might have seen on YouTube.
Yeah, I've seen a few. Some of them are pretty convincing.
Right. I mean, that can be really well done. But it turns out major movie studios have actually been profiting from these.
What? Really?
Yeah. Instead of the creators of those videos getting the ad revenue, the studios have been striking deals with YouTube to get that money for themselves.
So they're basically making money off of, potentially misleading content.
Yeah. It's a little shady, right? I mean, some of those trailers are for movies that don't even exist. Like, remember that fake Superman reboot trailer that fooled a bunch of people?
I think that even made it onto French TV, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. And James Gunn, the guy who's actually directing the new Superman movie, he even commented on it. Like, he wasn't too happy about it.
Yeah.
Makes sense. SAG-AFTRA, the actors union, they've been pretty vocal about this too. They're calling it a race to the bottom and saying it's diluting brands and misleading audiences.
It's not just the ethical implications. It also creates this weird situation where the actual creators, the ones who are making these videos, aren't getting compensated for their work.
Yeah, that's not right.
Not at all.
But the good news is YouTube's finally cracking down on this. They've disabled ad revenue for those types of videos and even kicked some of those channels off of their partner program.
About time.
Yeah. Now, the people who are running those channels, they're saying they were just experimenting and trying to be creative, which I can understand. But the fact that the studios were getting involved and profiting from it, that just adds another layer of complexity to the whole thing.
Yeah, it's a tricky situation.
Yeah.
But it's good to see YouTube taking some action.
Definitely. Okay, let's talk about smart homes and appliances. So Samsung just revealed their 2025 Bespoke lineup. And let me tell you, they are going all in on AI.
Oh, yeah. They're really pushing that AI angle. Like, it's integrated into pretty much everything.
Yeah. Take their 4-door French door refrigerator, for example. It's going to be available with screens, and not just any screens, like big screens.
Yeah, like 9-inch screens.
And even a massive 32-inch screen option. It's called Family Hub plus Hulleret. So you can do all sorts of stuff right on your fridge, like check your calendar, listen to music, get the weather, even watch TikTok videos.
Seriously. TikTok on your fridge?
Yeah. Why not, right?
I guess that's the world we live in now.
But here's where the AI comes in. They've upgraded their AI Vision Inside technology, so now it can identify a ton of different foods, like 37 different fresh ingredients and 50 different processed foods.
That's a lot of food.
Yeah. And it automatically creates an inventory list for you, so you can see what you have, what you need, right on the fridge display or on your phone.
That is really handy. No more forgetting what's lurking in the back of your fridge.
Right. And if efficiency is your thing, they have a hybrid version of the fridge that uses both a regular compressor and a Peltier module for cooling. And the Peltier module, guess what? It's powered by AI.
So it adjusts based on your usage patterns and stuff.
Yeah, trying to be as efficient as possible. And if you're short on space, they have a 4-door flex kitchen fit refrigerator. It's designed to take up as little space as possible.
Nice. Every inch counts in the kitchen.
And the AI love doesn't stop there. They've got new wall ovens with 7-inch displays, internal cameras, and sensors that can recognize up to 80 different recipes.
Wow.
Yeah, so it can help you cook things perfectly.
Like, how does that even work?
Well, it basically recognizes the food you're cooking, suggests the best temperature and time. And if you like to experiment in the kitchen, it can even save your custom recipes after you've used them a few times.
That is super cool.
Oh, and you can record time lapses of your baking, so you can share your culinary masterpieces on social media.
That's a great feature for all the foodie influencers out there.
And their bespoke auto open door dishwasher uses AI to optimize cleaning cycles. And it's super quiet, like only 38 decibels.
It's quieter than a whisper.
And if you hate doing laundry, check out their bespoke AI laundry vented combo. It's a washer-dryer combo that can do a full cycle in just over an hour.
That's impressive.
They also have a new bespoke AI Jet Ultra cordless stick vacuum. It boasts some serious suction power, a long battery life, and it uses AI to detect what type of surface you're cleaning.
So it adjusts the suction accordingly.
Yep, so you don't have to worry about, accidentally sucking up your rug. Good thinking. The pre-orders for all these new bespoke appliances are live now, and they're offering some pretty sweet deals, like up to $1,000 off, plus an extra year of warranty.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
All right, let's jump back to Apple for a second. There's been some chatter about their upcoming M5 chip.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. A recent report says that Apple is on track to release the M5 iPad Pro and M5 MacBook Pro later this year.
So business as usual then. I mean, that's pretty much in line with their usual release schedule.
Yeah, it is. The iPad Pro is supposedly in the final stages of testing and will go into production in the second half of the year. And the MacBook Pro is expected to follow in the fall.
Sounds about right.
However, it doesn't look like we'll be seeing Apple's own in-house modem in the iPad Pro this year. It's likely going to be in the M6 models, which are expected in 2027.
So it's still a couple years away.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
taking their time with that one.
It's a big undertaking, designing your own modem.
It is. And it's not just about the chip itself, right? It's about integrating it into their devices, making sure it works seamlessly.
Exactly.
But speaking of Apple and health, there are rumors that they're working on a pretty big revamp of their health app. They're calling it Project Mulberry. And it could include some pretty impressive features.
Like what?
Well, one of the big things is that they're reportedly developing an AI agent that would act as your personal health coach.
So it would give you personalized advice and stuff.
Yeah. Lifestyle recommendations, educational videos from actual doctors. There's even talk of a feature that would use your device's camera to correct your workout form.
Wow. That's pretty advanced.
Yeah. They're supposedly calling this Health Plus EP, and it could launch with iOS 19.4, which is expected sometime next spring or summer.
So basically a year from now.
Yeah, give or take. And to train the AI, they're using data from their own in-house doctors. They're even planning to open a studio to film content specifically for this service. And they're supposedly trying to get a big-name doctor to be the face of it.
Interesting. It sounds like they're really serious about this.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to become a major player in the health and wellness space.
Makes sense. I mean, they already have a huge user base with their devices. And people are already using the health app to track their fitness and stuff.
Right, so it's a natural progression for them.
Absolutely.
All right, so in the world of AI, Google just made their latest and greatest AI model, Gemini 2.5 Pro, available for free to everyone.
Oh, that's cool. I heard about this. It's supposed to be their most intelligent AI model yet.
Yeah, they're calling it their most intelligent AI model to date. And now anyone can try it out. Though there are some limitations for free users compared to those who subscribe to Gemini Advanced, but still, it's a chance for people to experience the power of this new AI.
Yeah. What kind of stuff can it do?
Well, Google says it has advanced reasoning capabilities, so it can analyze information, draw conclusions, understand context, and make decisions.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. It's all part of this ongoing AI race, right? You've got Google, Microsoft, OpenAI, all these companies pushing the boundaries of what AI can do.
And making it more accessible to people.
Exactly.
Which is great.
All right. Last but not least, let's talk about the Nintendo Switch 2. I mean, everyone's been waiting for this one.
Yeah, the hype is real.
They teased us with a trailer back in January, and it looks like they're sticking with a similar design to the original Switch, but there are some upgrades.
Yeah. Bigger display,
Magnetic Joy-Cons.
a sleeker look overall.
Yep. And thankfully, they've confirmed that it will be backwards compatible with existing Switch games, so you won't have to start your game library from scratch.
Big relief for a lot of people.
Oh, and get this. The Seattle Mariners, the baseball team, their jerseys this year are going to feature Nintendo logos. Like a Nintendo logo on the home jersey and a Switch 2 logo on the away jersey.
That is random, but also kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a unique way to promote the console.
I wonder how much they paid for that.
I have no idea.
But back to the console itself. Good news is they're keeping the headphone jack.
Yes. And hopefully this time they'll have Bluetooth headphone support right out of the gate.
Fingers crossed.
The kickstand is getting a much-needed upgrade, too. It's going to be fully adjustable and full-length, so more like the one on the Switch OLED.
That was a good kickstand.
And if you're eager to try it out, Nintendo is going to be doing a worldwide roadshow where you can get hands-on with the console. They're kicking things off in New York and Paris in early April, and then they'll be going all over the place for a couple of months.
That's a pretty good indication that we could see a release sometime in June, right?
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are thinking.
And those roadshow events, they already have wait lists. So
Yeah.
you might want to sign up sooner rather than later if you're interested.
Yeah. And there's been a lot of speculation about the new Joy-Cons. Some people have spotted a new button, maybe a C button, and there are rumors of potential mouse control and the ability to attach the Joy-Cons to either side of the console.
I wonder if that's for the headphone jack. Like, so you could choose which side you want it on.
That would be nice. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But in terms of games, we do know that it's going to be backwards compatible with both physical and digital Switch games.
Though they did say that some games might not be fully compatible.
Yeah, and they're introducing this new system called virtual game cards, so you can loan your digital games to friends.
Interesting.
And this is kind of funny, but those new game cartridges, they might still have that weird taste to them, like the original Switch cartridges.
Seriously. Why would they do that?
I guess as a safety measure, so kids don't try to eat them.
Well, it worked, I guess.
Mhm.
I never tried to eat a Switch cartridge,
Me neither.
but it's definitely a memorable taste.
Now, in terms of the actual guts of the console, there are all sorts of rumors flying around.
Yeah. Like what kind of processors are going to have, how much RAM.
Right. Some people are saying it could have an 8-core processor, maybe 8 GB or even 12 GB of RAM, 64 GB of internal storage.
Yeah.
And an NVIDIA Tegra chip with DLSS support for upscaling games.
That would be a significant boost over the original Switch.
Definitely. And FCC filings suggest it could have support for faster microSD cards, Wi-Fi 6, and NFC for Amiibo.
All good things.
Analysts are predicting a price point around $400, which is in line with the PS5 and Xbox Series X.
Yeah. And the Steam Deck, too.
Right.
That seems to be the sweet spot for these more powerful handheld consoles.
Yeah. And Nintendo is reportedly aiming for a big launch. Like, they want to have a lot of units available right away.
Good.
Wow.
Hopefully that means no shortages.
We can only hope. And in terms of games, we got a little tease of a new Mario Kart in the reveal trailer.
Which, let's be honest, that's pretty much a guaranteed system seller.
Yeah, pretty much. And there's talk of a new 3D Mario game, too.
Now, that would be exciting.
And Power Wash Simulator 2 has also been mentioned.
Oh, interesting. I wonder how they'll improve on the original.
We'll have to wait and see. They're supposed to be having a Nintendo Direct on April 2nd, so we should get a lot more details then.
Yeah, wait.
All right. Before we wrap up, a little bit of news for Tamagotchi fans. The Tamagotchi Connection Corner Shop series is making a comeback.
Oh, yeah.
On the Switch, there's a new game coming out called Tamagotchi Plaza. It's set to be released in June.
Cool. So what's it about?
Well, it's based on the old Corner Shop games, but this one will actually connect with the Tamagotchi Uni.
So you can link your physical Tamagotchi to the game.
Yep, you get special perks and stuff, kind of like the old Tamatown feature.
That's neat.
Yeah, I used to love Tamatown.
Me too.
Okay, back to the smart home for a minute. Google is making a change to their Nest Protect smart smoke alarm. They're actually discontinuing it.
Really?
Yeah.
So are they getting out of the smart home safety market?
Not exactly. They're partnering with First Alert to make a new smart smoke and carbon monoxide alarm.
So it'll still work with the Google Home app.
Yeah, it'll integrate with Nest Protect and you can control it through the app.
Okay. So it's basically just a rebranding.
Pretty much.
And when is this new alarm coming out?
Soon. It's supposed to be available in the US and Canada for $130.
Okay.
And they're also working with Yale on a new smart lock that's going to be compatible with Matter.
The new smart home standard.
Right, so it'll work with the Google Home ecosystem and other Matter devices.
Cool. And how much is that going to cost?
$170.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be available later this summer.
Right.
Now, for a quick update on YouTube, they're testing out a new feature that could change how you get notifications.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
Well, if you have all notifications turned on, they might start automatically muting notifications from channels you don't really watch.
So if you haven't watched a channel in a while, you won't get those annoying notifications.
Right. It's supposed to prevent people from just turning off all notifications because they're getting bombarded.
Makes sense.
But it could also affect creators, right? Because they rely on those notifications to let people know about new content.
Yeah, it's a tough balance.
It is. And lastly, Google is expanding their user choice billing program to the UK. This is a big deal for Android developers because it means they can offer alternative in-app purchase billing systems, so you won't always have to go through Google Play.
Nice. More options are always good.
Yeah. And developers who participate in this program get a small discount on Google's service fees. This program is already available in a bunch of other countries, and now the UK is joining the party.
Awesome.
And just a quick heads up, the Pixel 9a is launching on April 10th
Cool.
in the US.